They are all parts of Office 365 services. All of these are a suite of offering. We own SharePoint. We own the OneDrive. All right, excluding Dynamics. We own Dynamics. We own the Power Platform. We own Power App, Power BI, Power Apps, Virtual Agents, Power Automate. All these are leading Microsoft software solutions, leading that is taking the lead in digital transformation. Other companies have this in silos. You have Salesforce that has Tableau. You have Microfocus that has this. They are in silos. Microsoft has all of this and is a leading software solution. So when people want to move to the cloud or to manage their cloud services, nobody likes to have a complicated environment. No one wants to have a complex environment. Once upon a time, Oracle was the king. What happened to Oracle? They did not plan for cloud. Okay, their database now is dropping in order of pecking. Microsoft SQL is number one. Microsoft owns several forms of database. They own PostgreSQL. They own a lot. I can go on that. But this is where I'm going. All I'm saying is that Microsoft does everything. And then for seamless integration, it is most effective when you have a single vendor environment than when you have a multi-vendor environment. Because when there's issue, this person will say it's not my application. This person will say it is not my hardware. It is your hardware. It is your this. It is your that. No, with Microsoft, data can change hands easily. For the people that are interested in IoT and data, all the data coming from your IoT devices, Microsoft manages all of them at once. And it goes on and on and on. But let's move on. We'll see some more examples moving forward. All right. So I'll be discussing on the productive part first. I told you I have 4 areas I'm going to focus on. This is the productive section. All right. Great. So we have infrastructure, we have data, and then we have code. Your infrastructure, what your application runs on. Your data, what your application works with. The code, what your application does. All of these migrate and innovate. We have a unified management, we have security, we got governance, we got tools, and there's a very reigning part. Most recently, if you're very conversant with the cloud atmosphere, it's DevOps. DevOps meaning developer and IT operations come together to form DevOps. Okay, it's not part of today, but we'll still talk about it when we come to the career section. Okay, infrastructure for all workloads. Okay, I told you that we do a lot of stuff. Okay, SAP, the then leading SAP is now on Azure. Okay, they depend on our infrastructure for their services now. Someone will say, well, I won't people move from SAP to Dynamics? Well, some companies, they don't like to change, so they stick to their SAP. But hey, we have Microsoft Dynamics. With Microsoft Dynamics, you can now sync anything into it. It's Microsoft. It's one big table that has everything on it. All right. Now we have a networking. We have all these built on purpose, purpose built and third party applications that at certain time in their coexistence they were leaders, but they are all on Microsoft as we speak. They have to partner with us because they want to stay alive. VMware works on Azure now. All right, it's in terms of layers of storage. Okay, Linux now is on Azure. Red Hat Linux is on Azure. All right, and you can contact even their help desk right inside Azure. Okay, just you need to know most of the VMs running in Azure are Linux VMs. As a matter of fact, Red Hat Linux. All right, and then we've seen a 1.4 times increase in the growth of Linux. Why? Because of the infrastructure that we provide. Okay, many of our websites you see on a global scale that were built with WordPress, all of these are all web apps. All these web apps are on Azure. You have a web apps with WordPress, with SQL, and Apache all loaded in one. Push, and you just spin it up and it's up. Give your IT guy, your developer guy his access. He comes in, does his WordPress transformations, and that's all. He doesn't know where it's running. He just knows that this site never goes down. Okay, and You can see here this best choice for workloads, cost savings, easy migration. There's first party support, and it keeps getting better. We're talking about database. All these databases you see here are operational data services, and they are all available on Azure. Okay, the PostgreSQL is a lookalike services, or rather, is modeled into the same syntax of Oracle. All right, and we heard what happened in December. AWS pushed Oracle aside, set up their own DB, and said they'll be working with their own moving forward. Oracle has come to Microsoft for partnership so that they can stay on top. Very soon you'll be hearing of that. Just as you have SAP on Azure, you'll be having Oracle services on Azure. Oracle has its own ERP, e-business suite. It will be running on Azure. Okay, so Azure hosts all of these people on terms of infrastructure. And we have 56 data centers in the world. Okay, we are the largest, we are the highest. Just so you know, the size of a data center is the size of 10 football fields. Okay, the size of a data center is the size of 10 football fields, and they are launched in pairs. For example, in South Africa, they are in two cities separated by 33,000 kilometers. All right, the reason is because of high availability. So every data center you have, only in Brazil do we have a single standalone data center. In other areas of the world, they are all in pairs. All right, so just so you know. So those of us interested in data, everything is sitting here on Azure. All right. Those of us interested in analytics, here it is. Okay. We do a lot of analytics. I wish I could tell you some inside information. Okay, but hey, uh, CBN is trying to work on something with Microsoft. Okay, to launch something for the unbanked, for the unschooled and the uneducated, and it's AI powered. All right, you'll see it very soon. Great. So we now have a serverless platform for your application management. I just spoke about the websites, the web apps. We have containers. When we say containers, okay, it's a keyword. It's a new emerging area, emerging technology under the platform as a service section, okay, called containerization. On Azure, you have Azure Kubernetes services, okay. On Azure, you have the leading third party, which is Docker. Okay, please note it down. AKS and Docker, those are the two. There are other containerization services, but these two are the most established. Okay, AKS by Microsoft, and then Docker. Docker is a third-party company, built partnership with Azure, and because this partnership is solely focused on Azure, even though it's open source, okay, it got a lot of growth. Okay, 2018, I was a Docker. I campaigned for Docker, and we did some projects on Docker. Okay, the GT Bank is current as at 2018 did some POCs on it. Okay, once their current servers goes out of hand, they'll be upgrading infrastructure. It's a global service. Okay, where people are leaving the virtualization world into the containerization world. It saves you cost of operating systems, saves you cost of nodes, and we can have a deep dive into that right now. So we have microservices, we have integration services. It is event driven, that's logic functions, and all powered by AI, artificial intelligence. All right, please, at this point, um, I'm going to skip this video for a lot of reasons. This is a business. I'll just tell you about it. It's a business that was set up online, and this online business has only one office. It's admin center. Every other service was strictly online. They were able to manage during Black Friday. They were able to stop several distributed denial of service (DDoS). Yeah, a lot of people were watching the video, and I had to stop it because
Please, can you
I thought
replay the
we were not
video?
seeing it.
Because if I'm having an issue, some may also be having an issue.
Okay, all right. I'm going to replay the video right away. I'm going to replay the video.
Okay.
All right. So can you see it now? Is it playing?
Yes, we can.
All right. All right. So did we all see that? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Did we all see that? You can place comments. Okay. I will relate it to you via your comments. Okay. And then so that we can be very interactive. Great. Thank you, Adebayo. Great. Great, great, great. So you see on Black Friday they had 167 million customers globally. All right. And they don't have a shop. Did you see that? They don't have a shop. So again, I told you about threats and of Forbes, Fortune 500, Fortune 100. All right. We'll look at a few things shortly. Let's quickly proceed. So we want to look at Microsoft Azure from the hybrid point of view by design. When we say hybrid, what comes to mind? When we say hybrid, what comes to mind? You know, we watch movies, we watch what they call this stuff, werewolf and vampire. I can't remember the title. Hybrid. It's a mix of two things. We have car, Toyota Primus. It's a hybrid car, and then we think about hybrid. It has two of a particular different services coming together. Great. In the same vein, when we say Microsoft Azure, we hybrid by design. We are looking at this. All right. We are the only consistent and comprehensive hybrid cloud. We are the only ones. Okay. From a developer platform, we have the Azure services and the Azure stack. In Nigeria, we are now coming up with a lot of data regulations. We don't want our data to be stored in another country, like China, for example. Any data created in China must stay in China. If you want to use it, connect to China and use it, but you cannot copy that data. As a result, WhatsApp does not work in China. Only WeChat and other chat services produced in China that abide to their data regulation law. All right. Now, when we say DevOps, we have the Azure DevOps for on-prem, we have the Azure DevOps online. When we say data platform, we have the one sitting on-prem, the normal SQL server, MySQL, NoSQL, okay, PostgreSQL, and then we have the data services. Same for Azure AD and the on-premise Active Directory. And then we have for security and management, okay, we have the on-prem, and then we have the Azure. All of these are end to end covered, and there's no loophole. Many companies, because they have identity, okay, of their staffs, many of them use Active Directory. In fact, this is the beginning of everything, the identity part. I can become Madam Tony if I have all her details. Nobody needs to see me. For example, you've been told my name is Uche. How do I prove to you I'm Uche? I have Uche's certificates. I have this. I have his social security number. I have his national ID number, his international passport number. You don't need to see me. I've come with all the credentials that makes Uche Uche. So I can be anybody else, but claim to be Uche. So identity is so important. These are just to name a few. Okay, all of these cuts across hybrid. So briefly, we're going to just touch on each of these points very briefly. So Azure Stack, like I said, Nigeria has joined the group of certain nations that wants to keep their data generated here on-prem for the sake of data privacy. So an Azure Stack meets all of these services where Azure partners with a local data center, okay, and provides Azure services within that data center. That data center is able to store and keep your data, but yet still use the services available on Azure. Okay. And this is the consistency we were talking about from the IoT edge to the Azure stack and then to the cloud. All right. All of these all working together. Good. Now, I want to look at open. Several years ago, Microsoft used to be a one-sided company. They used to work on one street. If you remember, several years ago, whoever thought? Do we have developers in-house? Let me see my chart. Do we have developers in-house? Hey, Hafiz, my Oga Hafiz is online. Hafiz Ojolakwe I hate too. All right. So, do we have developers in-house? Hello. All right, great. Now, we have we used to have a lot of issues along this path. Now, we know Visual Studio, okay, and Visual Studio, okay, came up when Microsoft had to partner with the open source community, and whoever believed will have a Visual Studio Core running on Mac. We have Visual Studio version for Linux. Okay, Microsoft has opened its hands to the open source community. Okay, we bought GitHub, and people said, "Oh, when Microsoft buys GitHub, they will log this, they will do this." No, GitHub is still what GitHub is. Okay, it's even more open, sharing more resources. Okay, Microsoft is now eco-friendly. We realize that in pidgin English, okay, pardon me, in pidgin English, now corporation they make rice full pot. Do you understand? We have guys who are open source. We need them to make this ecosystem work. All right. Judge us by our actions we have taken in the recent past, our actions today and in the future. Okay, this is what Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, said in 2010. And as a result of this, we can see this amazing change. The things we have been doing and how we partnered and opened up doors to Linux, okay, and the .NET Foundation was created. And look at the progress. 2018, 2019, we acquired GitHub. And look at how Visual Studio Code became the number one developer tool. All right, and it's still going. And now there's Visual Studio Core. Core means just hardcore CLI, and with all the features that you need still embedded in it. The Mac guys are all happy. The Linux guys are all happy. One tool that addresses everything, and it keeps going on and on and on. All right, this is just for you to know that we are open source friendly. Okay, we support the open source ecosystem, like I said, from management, okay, Chef, Puppet, Jenkins, and Co. Like I told you about the containerization, Docker, okay, Kubernetes, which originally originated from Google, okay, and then we have applications, Drupal, Joomla, WordPress, and the likes, and we have infrastructure. I told you about Red Hat, the Linux in general, yeah, that's Docker, Linux, Pivotal, and so on. Middleware companies like Cloudera, okay, like HD Insights, okay. All of these are all partnered and they are all available in Microsoft Azure. So you see the open source guy coming to Azure and still finding a home. Okay, it's not everything. Everything doesn't have to be spent, 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 spent. You can still get some your open source flavors. Okay, now it depends on who your audience is. Now, the new trend is most of these open source flavors they have their enterprise versions. When you really want to go full scale production environment, you cannot do that with the community version or with the free versions. You have to do that with the enterprise versions. Okay, so for example, Docker has the free version. Docker is open source and it's free, and then you can do a lot of amazing things there. But the moment you go in live support production based capabilities, you need to go to Docker EE, Docker Enterprise Edition, and then it requires you pay for certain things that will manage your security, your governance, and certain other stakeholders in place. And then when this is done, you find out that Docker is amazing. Okay, I've done quite a couple of things with Docker, like I said earlier. So finally, we'll be looking at the trusted section. Then after this, we'll look at career. After this, we'll discuss opportunities. We'll discuss trends. We'll look at the current era we live in. We are currently living in the COVID era, and what will happen in the post-COVID era. What kind of jobs will be available moving forward? I'm sure this is the part that interests you. Okay, we'll be looking at all these things, and you look for your place. So again, I have some backbreaker information I want to give to you. So just get ready. All right. So here we have a mesh. The blue images you see there are the locations of our data centers. Okay. We are located everywhere in Africa. We are in South Africa. Nigeria is currently being reviewed. It's been reviewed for a while, but I heard they've made good grounds. I was in Abuja last month or 2 months ago, and speaking with a senior Microsoft official, he said Abuja is being considered for a lot of reasons. Not Lagos now, but rather Abuja. So it's still in review because they've looked at different geopolitical zones, and they're considering going to Abuja. So it's still in pipeline. And let's hope we can get our own here in Nigeria. If it happens here, cloud services will become very cheap because it has to do with a lot of distancing also. Okay, so if we're in Nigeria from this location of this slide and you want to set up a server, is it cheaper to go to Europe or to come to South Africa? So these are some things you look at. Set up a server in the US, set up a server in China. Okay, there will be a lot of latency, distance covered, and the same cost of the same server. The same server we have different costs in US based on your location and your region and China. All right, just so you know. Okay, so we are very secure. We spend a lot of money and a lot of skilled professionals to manage our cyber defense operations center. And Microsoft Azure, like I said earlier, it's very secure. Okay, so your journey to the cloud. Now, there are different resources and tools. Now, Azure Migrate is a free tool used to migrate servers from your on-prem different locations to Azure. Now we have different programs. Okay, there's a fast track for Azure. This was recently launched. Okay, has to do where you have partners coming to uh, uh, help you consume resources that you have already paid for that you're not using. And then we have Microsoft Learn. We'll be going to the Microsoft Learn site very, very shortly. Okay, this is where we'll look at information on the career path and things to need to do, how to get learning materials, because a lot of things here are constantly being reviewed. For example, every 6 months to a year, there's a review on trends and paths, okay, which makes us very relevant. So hence, if you're going to Microsoft to be the career path, you have to be ready for continuous improvement and continuous development. That's how do I call that? CICD is a DevOps step. Okay, you have to continuously keep improving yourself because it's not you write one certificate and then I'm an Azure administrator, and then you go sit down and then you go cross your legs. I promise you, you come back in 3 months' time, you will barely find your way around. All right. So you have the infrastructure as a service, you have the platform as a service, and then you have the what? Software as a service. Now, under software as a service, which is where I want to start from, okay, there is a lot. Now, we have the Office 365. It has been modified and it is now called M365, Microsoft 365. It consists of three services, which include your Office 365, your enterprise mobility plus security, and Windows. Windows Enterprise. Someone ask, what's that? Now, because now we're all going to work from home, because all now we're going to do all these stuff, hey, the device needs to be protected. For example, in my office, okay, We cannot use any device to do anything. You have to bring your device and subject it to EMS, okay, to be able to manage the office resources on that device. So if your device gets lost, stolen, or damaged, it will not be a breach to the office. We all heard about BYOD a few years ago and how it became prominent. You have 5 phones or tablets. You want to be able to work on any one of them. Now is the time where those things are being called into use. Are you with me? Great, great. Now, I need you to also know that Office 365 has improved a lot in its security features. Now, when you go online, I'm going to give you some assignments. Number one, go online, all right? If you have your LinkedIn pages, we are discussing here, we're discussing now, we're discussing a bit about opportunities, right? I want to start with M365, all right? Just go to your LinkedIn page and type M365. Okay, where you see location, right? Remote. When you type it and then you put enter, you're going to see a lot of things. Okay, you can do that. Type the role. Now, this is a new one. For every IT role you can think of, there is now a remote function for it, including CIO. I'm like, how? So soon? COVID is not yet over. This is COVID era in itself. It's not over. But every IT job role now is available for remote. Every job. Okay, you can do your research and you find this out. So that's to tell you the power of what we're talking about. Now, someone says, okay, I'm on Azure. What do I do? Now, firstly, like Tony said, start from the fundamentals. They said 900. There's so much reason why you need to start from there so that you can understand certain basics. Certain basics you need to understand because you might not do much on all those areas. So if you're going to the administrative area, I recommend everyone who wants to build a career on Azure, okay, you should, must do the Azure administrator track. Okay, in Nigeria, we are used to um, jack of all trades, right? You want to employ someone, and then you tell the person should have developer skills, the person should have networking skills, the person should have infrastructure skills, the same person should have programming skills, the person should have database, data storage skills, and the same person will now be doing governance. Who has seen that before? I said you should type M365. Olamileko Adebayo, please type M365. Open your LinkedIn, type M365. Location, put remote. There are a couple of companies there that do support, like you have Upwork, you have Upwork.com. You go there, you can be an M365 support engineer. I think they pay about $10 per hour. Hello?
Okay, Mr. Ocha, I think they will have to pay for those information. Can we keep going
Okay,
off those information? I'm
okay,
just kidding.
all right.
But let's dive into our Microsoft Azure more.
All right. All right.
Thank you.
We're speaking about opportunities with Microsoft, madam. So just so they should know. All right. So when
Yes,
you
I
look at
know.
the,
I
all right. All right. Thank you. So if you look at the associate career path here, like I recommend everyone should do the administrator track. Number one, you must do the administrator career path. The reason is because you have to know your way around. You have to know the administrator part is like a how. It's the how part of Azure. Okay, how to set up these, how to do that. When you look at the course curriculum for the administrator, you will see how it is broken down. Okay, that's number one. Number two, when you look at the security engineer, it also has to do with a lot of hows. So these are the things that are available, rules that you can perform remotely and in a physical place. Okay, on the hows you can do the things to set up this. I tell you this, a phrase from a popular hacker: everybody has a security measure in place until they get hacked. Okay, but what does that mean? It means you are as good as your weakest link. So the security engineer is makes you very relevant. Okay, because I've seen an enterprise environment that did not set up DDoS. that did not set up anti-malware, that did not harden their network or their servers, that did not even perform 2FA on some locations, did not do conditional access. These are all security based conversations. And the services was running. Many people were running the service. I'm like, this is wrong. You could be attacked and your service could be shut down. So again, that is where the security engineer comes in. Now, I would like you to know Microsoft. All right, I want to open a browser for you, or rather, I'll give you an assignment while I'm here. While I'm here, I would like you to go and look at the career part of Azure Security Engineer AZ500. When you look at it, you will constantly see the changes that are taking place in the career part. Okay, security is evolving. For every new level of crime, there is a new level of security. Are you with me? These and many more. So we're looking about surviving with Azure. This is it. Okay, you have companies who are going to be recruiting and they will tell you, hey, we need these skill sets. We need this skill set. With your administrative skills from AZ104 now to AZ500, you would go a long way. If you're a developer, then you go for your series of AZ203, 204, and the likes. Okay, your Azure developer skills. All right. Now, for me, I'm an IT operations guy. All right. I have administrator. I have a security engineer. I have the AI engineer. I have the data scientist. I have the data engineer. Just so you know. Okay. The reason for this is because I am following trends. I'm not doing it because I want to do it. I'm following trends. Again, Azure is the leading platform. Okay. And there's a lot of demand on trends, on demand, on data, demand on processes. I was having a mentoring session with some folks last week. I told them for the area of data, you cannot be a proper data scientist if you don't understand infrastructure. So hence, you must go back and do AZ104. Do you understand me? You cannot be a proper data scientist and data engineer if you've not understood Azure Architect. Is a 300 and is a 301. Soon to be is a 303 and 304. Soon to be. Okay, to be changed in June. Okay, so I'm moving to the expert region. So now, in the 300 as we speak and 301, there's a bit of still implementing. If you look at the topic, there's a 300, there's a bit of implementing in it. Okay, and when you look at the 301, it's all about design. It's all about design. Why did I use this over this? Why will I set up? For example, if you watch the video on ASOS, you will see they use Cosmo DB. The simple question is why Cosmo DB? Why did you not use MySQL or MSSQL or MariaDB? Why Cosmo DB? Why did you use Redis Catch? Redis Catch? There's a lot of whys. Why this design? Why that? Now, as an architect, you know the kind of data you are, you know what you are building for. It's take it. Let me break it down. It's like building a house. All right. Now, the architect is usually on site, but you don't see him carrying blocks, do you? I'm going to come to data scientists. Okay, just hold on. I'm going to come to data scientists. Just hold on. The architect designs the house, all right, and people come to build the house to his design. If he tells you, I want a column here of 6 beams, you must make it 6 beams. If not, you are building something else. Do you understand me? Based on his design, these beams will hold what is going to come on top. You don't know why he says 6 beams, but you know how to do 6 beams. Do it. That is the difference between the associate and the expert level. So, if again, it's a growth path. You cannot be a good leader without being a good follower. So you must learn the how and then you move to the why. Okay? The how, then you move to the why. Great, great. So that's the role of the architect. Now, we now have the data. If you look at the data scientist course, it has a lot to do with design. It is the engineer that does the rough work. The scientist does the design. If you remember the difference between polytechnic and university, university is body of knowledge. Polytechnic is what? Many skills. Are you with me? Many skills, many hands-on. Okay. The polytechnic guy may never become the manager in the office, but he can become head of technical this, head of technical because he's a very technical oriented person. The university guy who just has the knowledge and no hands-on or very few hands-on will be his boss. Why? Because he knows why. The polytechnic guy knows how. In other words, the person that is why, that knows why, will always be the Oga. So, but you must start from how to why. If you don't know the how, you will be a very terrible why. I have seen someone design an architecture environment, okay, without understanding Azure, and he made a mess of it. They had to call for help. When they call for help, we had to redesign the environment. Now they are fine, their cost is okay, everything is fine. So you cannot jump one step for the other. You must know the how first. After you understand how the how works, you have done jobs, PPs or whatever on the how, it will make you a better why. Okay, because when you are designing your environment, you'll be designing with experience, with information, and again with what supports words. For example, the reason why ASOS used Cosmo DB is because of the unstructured data that might also come with all the data they are gathering. Cosmo DB can cater for structured and unstructured data, unlike the other databases. Are we together? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can hear you.
All right, all right, great. So now moving to the data part. So when you say as a data scientist, you are building a data solution. You work for a company that design an IoT solution. Now you want to put the architectural background. You need to understand Azure operation, which is administration. You need to understand the different stakeholders or the different database placeholder, and then all of these pulls together, and then you build your data backend. And then this data backend, how is it now visualized? How are people going to interpret this data to my managers? My orga at the top, they don't understand zeros and ones. So after you have built the design at the backend, you now put outputs using Power BIs and Co. All right, and then data is now pushed out in a different format. So you must again to be a better data scientist. I see many people globally, globally running about doing R, doing Python, doing R, doing Python, and they tell you I'm a data analyst. And I look at them and I smile. Well, yes, they are, but they only operate on a very small part of how. They may never see the big picture. They may never graduate to become the why of the data solutions. They will always be in the how. Start from your administrator, AZ104. Start from there. Once you do your AZ104, come back and do your DP100. That's your data scientist. Do your DP 200 and 201, your data engineer, and then go and do your Azure architect, solution architect, is a 300 and 301. Then you writing yourself as a data solution architect. You're not just an engineer, you're a solutions architect. Okay, because you can design, you can support. You don't just design and leave it and let anybody come and do it. You design it and you can support the whole infrastructure. Do you understand me? Because this is where things are moving now. Because the people are going to be working remotely, working from home. People are going to be doing a lot of stuff from distances. The nature of businesses are going to change. Everything will be online. As a result, you're going to have more data generated. Look at this class. We've been on now for close to 2 hours. Data is generated from here. This data will be used. Okay, data will be transformed. Data will be used and analyzed, and it gets more and more and more and more. So, data, as a matter of fact, this will lead to a new career path coming out in Azure very soon. It's focused on strictly storage. Right now, it's there. LRS, local redundant storage, geo redundant storage, zonal redundant storage. Okay, it's just there and it's basic clean. But hey, it's going to come out as a massive new career path because this data that is generated, it needs to be stored somewhere. It is always growing. And again, this data, is it hot? Is it cold? Is it warm? Hot means, is it always being referred to? Cold, is it just stored there? Nobody refers to it until once in a while. Medium, a bit lukewarm. So these are career paths from the data scientists that we need to start looking at. These are opportunities that lie there. Now we have the ever trending part. This part that is trending, the Azure DevOps engineer, is the most trending part since the turn of December 2019. Azure DevOps. Azure DevOps is crazy. It combines IT operations and developer and brought it together and called it DevOps. Okay, developers, IT operations smashed together. Now, who is that DevOps guy? He might not be a developer. As a matter of fact, he's more of a project manager, an agile project manager. Because now he's deploying solutions on Azure in agile methodology, in Scrum methodology. He can do in the old way, but we have realized that developing solutions in the agile methodology brings customer satisfaction, customer happiness, and when there's a change of plans or business requirements, it's easy to adjust under the agile platform, under the Scrum platform. Okay, all of this is what is the DevOps engineer can do. Now, you don't have to be there. It's a job it's a career base that is remote from the very beginning. Okay, if it's a company that has a DevOps role, great. But everybody who is going to be part of that DevOps role, you might be involved in bringing them together. You get the dev guy, you get the security guy, you get the app guy, you get the administrator guy, and probably the database guy. You bring in all these stakeholders together and then you are managing them. You are creating tasks in the CI/CD platform, the pipelines. You are creating tasks and everybody is monitored. Everybody has timelines. Everybody is moving. It's a process, a continuous process. Are you with me? The DevOps guy is getting things done on Azure. On the rig, they call him two pusher. Sorry, I've worked on the rig before. So they used to call him two pusher. He's the one that gets the job done. He doesn't do it, he gets it done through people. So before you get to the DevOps engineer, you must come from a path. That is why I'm showing you this slide. And that is why I'm stopping on this slide. Okay. Fundamentals is very important. For those of us that want to be a developer, so important. Okay. And you want to stop at DevOps engineer, perfect. Okay. The other areas where you have onboarding and advance are, if you are going into the business aspect of it. Take, for example, you want to work for a Microsoft partner. All right. Microsoft partners are in charge. Okay, Microsoft partners are in charge of helping people come to Azure, and then you're a hardware guy, you like doing things, you are that guy who will want to go to an MSP, oh, apply, and they'll say, oh, you can do this, great, and then you come. If you look at the blue arrows, there are three blue arrows pointing to Azure, migration to Azure. We have the administrator, we have the security engineer, and then you have the solutions architect. Okay, you're able to migrate servers to Azure, manage cloud operations, you do app development and modernization. That modernization deals with containerization. Okay, containerizing legacy apps. You have this bank or you have this company that is using this SQL solution or Excel solution that they made in 2003. It's still working for them, but now this Excel solution no get API. Sorry, I spoke pidgin. Doesn't have API. The person that even deployed this is not, he has died. Okay, but the solution is working. But this solution, we used to use it to do this, so we want to modernize it. Can we modernize it? Can this solution be moved to Azure? There's a lot of issues. Many companies are sticking with some really old apps. It gets the job done, yes, but they cannot digitalize, they cannot transform, they cannot call on a service and this service exchange hands with another service. So that is where the app modernization come in. Okay, if you're going to do is a solutions architect, you know a lot about app modernization. Now, if we come down to the other parts, the onboarding, we see implementing ML solutions. okay, machine learning solutions, and designing data solutions. Okay, so you see those two lines there, those are beautiful locations. Ebuka, you called me Niger man. I do not understand. All right. Anyway, so in these onboarding solutions, okay, for data, now you have again, like I said, if you're in trend with a lot of things going on, houses are built smart, building complexes are built smart, hotels are built smart. The architects of today have partnered with some really smart IT guys when they are doing their building design. Okay, when they're doing building design, they implement a lot of IT things. Okay, it comes with IoT devices that can read motion sensor, trigger this, trigger that. So data is generated in those places. Now, the same people that built it are the same people that want to manage the data for you. It's like your car tracker. Most of us drive cars and we have car trackers, right? Now, these car trackers, okay, keep a record of everywhere we have been. That's why we put them. So if your car gets stolen, you can find your car with your car tracker, right? Interestingly, I worked for a company that owned an IT solutions company that had a tracker. Now, somewhere along the line, a company came and said, we want the data of all our customers. He got to my table, I denied it. The MD called me, hey, Uche, why did I was the IT manager then? I told him, no, sir. He said, why? I said, this is, you are selling customers' data. He now paused. He never thought I'd be that way. He thought they could make some money. I said, sir, should there be a loss of life and this is investigated, we could be in trouble. He paused. I said, yes, sir. I said, you are selling customers' movements, locations. I said, guess what? He said, what? We're approaching election period. Who knows if the whole idea is behind somebody who's very influential, they want to get him out of the way. He paused and he put not approved. Thank you, Uche. Smart guy. And that was where it ended. Okay. Are you with me? So, so now, because the tracking gets your data. Who does what with your data? Have you ever bothered to ask? Your data is there. Take, for example, your phone gets stolen. Okay. It's important we need to start understanding how to do a lot with data. Okay. Who is in charge of your data? Who keeps it? What do they do with it? This is what led up to GDPR. Okay. And GDPR came and changed the whole face of how many of the European companies work with, from Google to Facebook to Twitter and so on. And recently, Facebook just paid another money. That was late last year because of data loss again. All right. Now, sometime as at 2018, 2019, if you have a lot of money in your bank, if you got a lot of money in your bank account and you go and use, I won't call the bank, and you go and use that bank's ATM, you will see a customized advert to you telling you or setting loan services in millions. Why? Because they know that you're capable of paying. They are giving you adverts based on your bank balance. If there are some of us here that our bank balance is 5K, 10K, and then you go and use the ATM, you will not see that kind of stuff. So you might not understand what I'm saying, but they've used your data to sell some services to you. So, and again, that's wrong. Why would we do that with my data? It's my data. It should be kept only to my knowledge. So those are the involvement of GDPR and how many Nigerian companies also have to adjust. All right. So let me quickly address a question. Quickly, please. In data science management, does one need to have an engineering background to become an AI engineer? All right. So this is how it went. In my path to becoming an AI engineer, I had to start from the fundamentals. I wish I could tell you my first degree. All right, I'll tell you. All right, I studied biochemistry. I graduated 2009. I studied biochemistry and I was top 10% in my class. But I've been doing IT jobs since I was in 211. They told me to pull out of school and just I told them, don't worry, I'll finish it. But all the while I was doing IT jobs. My first job since I finished school has all been IT based. So that's it. So I had to follow my calling. But I have a BSc in biochemistry. I even dropped out of my master's class, just so you know. Okay, so just so you know, so again, you don't have to be an engineer to be as good as all this. You just need to do diligent study. Okay, do your diligent study. So to be an AI engineer, there's a lot you need to know before you get there. You don't just jump to AI engineer. Start from Azure fundamentals, then you come to your AI to your Azure administrator, then find your way to AI engineer. When you are there and then you're learning new things, you see that they are all making sense. You can navigate yourself, you can move around yourself, you can draw parts, you can link up lines all by yourself. Are you with me? So that answers your question, Usaini. Okay, just so you should know. All right. Now, Oludare Oshodi. Yes. No, those exams 532, 533, and 535 all ended in 2019. Okay. And after that, they released the 300 301, which is about to be changed by beginning of June. Okay. Same for AZ 104, which is about to be changed. So those course parts, not functional anymore. The one that is extended partly is 103. Okay. 103 has reached its end. Okay. And that's about that. Okay. Abdul Karim, I'm new to this. Should I say novice? Well, Abdul Karim, you got a lot of work to do. But again, believe me, it is worth it. It is worth it. So we'll look at the advanced sections. All right. So I will end at this advanced section. Now we have the H. Yeah, Moses, he said changes are too rapid. I will address that. That is what makes Microsoft relevant. Okay, that is why the few people who are keeping up to it are the ones cashing out. They won't tell you. Okay, they won't tell you because the guy who is a .NET developer, and is coding on .NET, and then he moves to the SaaS aspect, he cashes out crazily and he will never make matter about it. Unlike the general PHP guys are full everywhere, they will not tell you anything. All right. Now, quickly, I want to touch the SaaS. SaaS is very important. These are all parts of Azure. So we have the M365. Now, every company needs them. Believe me, every company needs the M365 guys. They manage your Outlook, that's your Exchange. They manage your SharePoint. And now, if you noticed, many schools are short globally. And guess what? They are having their education using Microsoft Teams. There's a Microsoft Teams app called Microsoft Teams for Edu. When you download it, if you have such licenses, you see how it works. You see that you have different classrooms, different class teachers, their names, the subjects, the students screen. The teacher is able to know what the student is doing with respect to assignments. It's teacher monitoring students from home. In America, their education is not affected. Everyone is on Microsoft Teams right now as we speak. Okay, so I've heard about Nigeria. Some schools have started that. As a matter of fact, when you register for these courses, this training that we've told you we're having May 30th, we will do it in Microsoft Teams, and then you see the difference. Okay, you will see how we can collaborate, do a lot of things all on one spot. So Microsoft Teams is so important. As a matter of fact, I had some guys who switched from slightly non-technical role to a more technical role, and they were told to support Teams services. They were like, Mr. Uchi, I said, hey, relax. And then I took them around a bit of work, and I'm like, hey, guys, there is no company right now, post COVID era, that would not need a Microsoft Teams administrator. That is MS 300, MS 700. MS 300 and 301 is SharePoint and Teams. MS 700 is Teams. I said there is no company that wants to win in this post-COVID era that will not need these two people. As we were talking, I took them to LinkedIn. Look at so many SharePoint vacancies online. Look at so many Teams vacancies. They realize that, boss, thank you, sir. I said, stop complaining. Don't join crowd to complain. You need information. So M365 plays a lot of roles. Now we now look at Power Platform. This is where I want you to all look at if you can. So he takes these courses also. Okay, it's on PL 900. That's Platform Fundamentals, PL 900. All right, Platform Fundamentals. Start from there. Then you now move to the Power BI. Okay, Platform Fundamentals cuts across Power BI, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, and the Power Apps. Okay, all of this takes away paperwork. Now there's nobody in the office. We want to make requisition for this. We want to do this for this. Everything is digitalized. Visitor comes to the office. There's a touch screen at the door there with a camera. You feel, take your picture. Bam, submit. As it's notifying you that somebody is at the gate, you set a float, notify your boss, see the picture, who is looking for you. Is it business? Is it personal? Whatever. Okay, approved. That's the visitor management system. You can design an app in less than 2 hours. Anybody can design an app. You don't need a skill set for it anymore. Though, if you want a more complex app, you need to know a little bit about data because you're using the the common data service, CDS. Okay, CDS is available. There's a lot you can do with it. It's a different ball game apart from it. But all of this falls under the data and AI airlift, where you started because I was in Kenya, Nairobi, speaking for Microsoft on Power Apps, doing Power Apps in a day. That was what we went to do on the airlift. Okay, so Power Apps is a SaaS service. It's under the software as a service offerings, just like Dynamics 365. Okay, you have the platform as a service. You have these Power Platform services that are also available. And guess what? You can link all your services together. All of these working together and the workflows. So someone is asking about cybersecurity. Hey, sir, you cannot do anything successfully without security. Because just like I said earlier, how do you know I am Uche? You can only know I am Uche if I provide information that only Uche should know. Are you with me? Great. So for security, Microsoft has taken a step further to protect you from yourself. Can you imagine? Because normally what we see on news, Apple data hacked, Google this hacked, this is hacked. Truth is, they were not hacked. It was a user that did not keep his account well. True or false? It was a user who created a weak password. It was a user who probably used a password on an untrusted site. It was a user who probably did something wrong. And all of a sudden, the person gets hacked. And then now looks as though it's the service that has a problem. Microsoft now took several steps. They now have conditional access. They now had security access. They now had two-factor authentication. They even added hardware token, and on and on and on, just to make sure that you are protected from yourself. For example, you cannot be in Lagos and China at the same time. So if I sign into this platform now and I'm using it, and 10 hours later, 5 hours or 4 hours later, the same login is coming from with China IP address. This guy must have been hacked. What do I do? This is the wrong IP. You always come from me. Reset his password. Are you with me? And then it goes on and on and on. Yes, social engineering. That's what I'm saying, Oludari. So there's a lot of investment in protecting you from yourself. Okay. Olariwaju Amudipe, is there any business connection between Microsoft, Azure, Cisco, stuff like IoT? Of course there are. You have Cisco in the cloud. Cisco is on Azure. You have Meraki is on Azure. They have the umbrella is on Azure. Okay, all of these services that manage this network solution for complex environments. Yes, there are. Okay, someone, I'll keep his name private, is pretty into this terrain. He studied economics, but he has a strong drive, interest in this. Can you give me a guide? I will say you should speak with Tony after this call. Tony will help you. Take my advice, sir. Speak with Tony. Whatever she tells you for now, work with her. She will help you. All right, she will help you. That's my advice to you. We're going down. Okay, someone is asking from fundamentals to administrator. After this, how do I know where to specialize? All right, when you get to the administrator part, okay, administrator part cuts across several things from the monitor, money from the monitor to compute to networks to storage to subscriptions. You find many things in there. Okay, again, you are keeping ahead of with information around. Okay, with administrator, it will get you in. Once you get in, You can there are different ways to find where you go next. Okay, if your long-term vision or your long-term goal is to have your own business, okay, or have your own things, then you might need to do a lot more than administrator. But if you just want to get a job and stay alive and get paychecks, that's not bad either. Okay, then you might probably need to look at security. Is at 500 after you've done your 104, and then maybe you do your Azure Architect, and then you'll be fine. All right. But if you want to go with the trend, after you have done all the infrastructure certifications, you need to come and do data. Okay. Like I said earlier, people learn R, Python, and the rest, but they make a mistake. On which platform? Because if you want to be the best data person, you are the best data person on a particular platform, not anywhere. For example, you cannot just learn R and learn this. You don't know the stakeholders. You don't know what the person has designed. The person could have done a design that, yes, you where you come in is just less than 5% in the whole design, and then you are paid so little. But if you've understood all of this design, you find out that in the project, in that Azure DevOps project, you have like 40% stakehold in all the processes. You find out that, oh, I'm a relevant piece in this DevOps design. You are going to cash out well because of your skill set. So learning Python and R is not enough. Do you understand? It's not enough. You need to learn it on a platform. That's where the platform as a services comes in, because you are doing design. You might be in the process of being a DevOps manager yourself, and you will now have to draw a design. What will you draw? Then your Python and your R cannot save you. Okay, so these are things that we should know. Okay, Tony, your contact is needed. Hello, Tony. All right, Tony will be here soon. Okay, so once she's here, she'll give us her contact. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
actually here. I'm actually here. I'm going to send in the details much later to everyone.
okay, because they need your
Yes,
contact. Thank you.
yes, I will share a folder to everyone in a short while. So
Okay, great. So I have interest in this Azure DevOps. Now I can see I have to do Azure admin because it's necessary to do the developer. Is it necessary to do the developer too? Well, it's not. Okay, I'm not a developer. That was the only thing I didn't do. I'm not a developer. Okay, but I can fit in the DevOps role perfectly. I know what the developer does. I know what he or she does. I know who can get me my job done. I get it's a process. DevOps is a process. Okay, it's an agile process. Okay, best practices on Azure. I know how to get this done, and I know how to pull my team together, and this goes over and over and is done. Okay, maybe it is Microsoft Dynamics I'm deploying. Okay, I can use the Azure DevOps best practice for even for Dynamics. Maybe I'm doing Windows as a service on a large scale. I'm using the Azure DevOps best practice. Maybe I'm doing uh um wow, Azure Sentinel. All right, I'm going to do that using the Azure. Anything I'm doing on Azure, okay, infrastructure, data wise, this wise, I'm using the Azure DevOps best practice. So when you're doing it that way, you understand how easy it is to use cloud computing. In fact, as it relates more with developers, okay, you can know a bit, but you might not be a coder, a developer yourself, but you know what you want. You might not be a hardcore data scientist, but you know what you want. And the output is very, very clear. All right, so this is storing information. That's her email, that's her phone number. Please do reach out to her. I'll be looking forward to see you all in the class. Okay, please know it's going to be super exciting. We're going to run a lot of things, and this is the best time to make a decision on joining this session. Okay, because some folks will say we ain't got cash. Truth is, pay now and play later.
how would this training be conducted? It's an online live training session, and we are going to give you after sales support. You know, while the training is during the training and after the training, our facilitator will respond to all your requests in terms of if you need a better understanding. Sorry, I wanted to write Azure 900, not 109. 900. There's a mistake here. Azure 900 and 104. Then you're also going to have, we are going to give you the certificate of attendance. We are going to give you videos, supporting videos. You can register for your exams with us. Now, all exams are conducted remotely, so you can sit at the comfort of your home to take your exams. Your 9 Azure 900 fundamentals and your Azure 104 all can be done from the comfort of your home now. Yes, so that's the good news. And we are a Microsoft certified learning partner. So we are also going to be giving you an Azure account for you to practice even during the training. So if you need any other information, please feel free to contact us. Our email address has been sent. My own email also. So in case you don't have the email, it's trainings at makintouchconsulting.com, or you can contact any of us, korede.e at makintouchconsulting.online, toyin.I at makintouchconsulting.online. So for your enquiries, please send in your enquiries, and we're also going to send in a mail to this. So after this, if you need any, if you have other questions, you can send in your questions. We can send responses to you via email. If you want the certificate of attendance, I have shared it already. You can get the certificate of attendance for 5,000 with the replay of the with the slides and the replay of the webinar. So thank you so much for staying tuned with us. We appreciate you and we want to be sure that you're going to register for this training. Don't forget the deadline is May 20. After May 20, it goes to 70,000. It's an online live training session. It's going to be very practical. So your facilitator will be there 24/7 to respond to you. There's an after sales support. You are going to get videos that's going to help you. And one good thing, we'll give you a free account on we're going to launch our consulting. We have a website for consulting services, so we are going to be giving you a free account where companies that we have trained, when they need experts like you, professionals like you, we can actually send in your details to them for a likely job opportunity. So don't forget, everybody is going to cloud. Seize the opportunity now. Thank you so much. If there are any other questions, please send it in.